Hi YouTube, it's Mama Doe Dawn and baby fawn Charlotte, who knows she's getting recorded right now. She has some puffs. We think she may have a tongue tie because she chokes really bad whenever she eats anything solid. So she really wants to feed herself, as you can see, like she's trying, but she just gags so bad the poor thing can't get anything down. So I'm kind of just letting her figure it out for now, but we're going to get her to a pediatric dentist and hopefully try to get that tongue tie fixed up. Yeah. I've made this warning in other videos, but my fridge, I rent, I'm in an apartment, makes this really bizarre sound, as you can hear in the background right now. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know when it's coming on and off, so I just kind of have to record around it. So hopefully you guys can still hear me okay and it isn't too annoying. As you can see behind me, I have a huge, well not a huge, but a moderate sized grocery haul, and it is for Thanksgiving. So I thought today I would talk about my under $40 Thanksgiving budget, or under $50 Thanksgiving budget, sorry, the little one in the background, and what I bought. If you guys have watched like 2 of my more recent videos, I talk about being in debt and trying to get out of debt and sticking to a budget and everything. So this month I had a really tight grocery budget. Anyways, I only spent $50 on groceries for the whole month for me. But Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. I love cooking huge meals, and I really didn't want to skip out on that. So this Thanksgiving, I tried to do Thanksgiving on a budget, and I'm gonna show you guys how I did that by showing you my grocery haul. And then I also plan on doing like this huge preparation video to show you how I'm making 11 courses. Well, like 11 different things to eat, casseroles and turkey and all that kind of stuff. So I was going to show you guys how I do that, like step by step, but first we have to start of course with the groceries. So I wanted to show you what I already had in my kitchen that I'll be using, and then show you what I bought. And most of these ingredients, unless you have like specific dietary restrictions, you probably eat yourself and you already have on hand. So this isn't like a huge thing that you're gonna have to go out and buy a bunch of stuff specifically for Thanksgiving. These are just more common casseroles that I make, and all of them are really easy. I pre-make everything before Thanksgiving, so the only thing I'm doing on Thanksgiving is like peeling the potatoes and then making mashed potatoes. But everything else out of the whole 11 things is already made ahead of time and just needs put in the oven. So let's talk about the groceries that I already had in my house prior to getting my Thanksgiving grocery haul. Alright, let's open up this ridiculously annoying fridge here. Super empty because, yeah, I'm broke. We have lettuce and then some baby food. I save water bottles. I never buy water bottles myself, but if someone comes over and has like a plastic bottle, I'm like, no, I'll save it, and then I just keep a bunch of them in my fridge with water. I have eggs that I will be using during Thanksgiving. Down here I have a bunch of different cheeses, but the shredded cheddar cheese I'll be using for Thanksgiving. So those were 2 things I already had. Over here are just condiments and more bottles. None of those things I'll be using at Thanksgiving. Wait, I will be using the mayonnaise and mustard to make deviled eggs. Up here we have like my junk food, ramen noodles, popcorn, Reese's Puffs that I actually got for free. My apartment was giving them out. They're like the Halloween ones. This Dream Whip is the only thing up here that I'll be using when I make a like pudding dish. So that is the one thing I'll be using. And then I just have tortillas and grits. Up here I just have a bunch of cooking oils. A lot of them are like Japanese oriented. I love Japanese food. And then there's like vegetable oil and all that you just occasionally need for baking. I don't think I'll be using any of those. And then over here I just have like some more kind of junk food kinds of things. Dried cranberries in the back, granola, peanut butter, and Tang, which I love and live by. It's 0 calories in this little thing, and it just makes water so much easier to drink throughout the day. And then here's like my biggest cupboard. So up here I have quinoa and corn flour and soups and stuff. The only things I'll be using up here are the cream of mushroom soup and green beans that I'm going to be using for a green bean casserole. And then on this one right here we have a bunch of like Mexican canned goods and then Italian oriented canned goods. And then I have chicken broth, which I will be using, noodles, which I will not be using. Down here I have a huge seasoning collection. Seasonings are like my favorite thing in the world, so I have like way too many. but I will be using quite a few of these with the different things that I cook. And then over here are just all of the baby food. I make a lot of my baby food from scratch, but I do like buy cereal and some foods for when we go out or I'm just feeling lazy for the day. I did say in my last budget video that I bought Enfamil, but I actually price checked while I was at Walmart, and their just Parents' Choice brand, the Walmart brand formula, was like half the price of Enfamil. So we are now, until I get paid most of my debt off, we are just going with the very cheap formula. And the last thing we have here is the freezer, some breast milk that I have saved. None of these things I'm using, but breast milk I have saved, ice cream, ground turkey, potatoes, broccoli, sweet potatoes, and just a bunch of fruit blends that I use to make baby food. But now let's get to the real stuff. So this is my grocery haul for Thanksgiving, and there's actually only two items that are more expensive than $4, and that's my turkey and my pie here. So everything else was actually under $4, which is pretty awesome, and I'm pretty proud of myself for that. I bought most of the things, just great value, Walmart brand. Walmart's the cheapest place to shop where I'm at in the United States. So that is where I go. And I have a little kitten needing attention right now. She's like, why are you talking and not playing with me? But let's get started on the broken down price of everything. So this is one of the more expensive things I bought, and that was only because I would not be able to buy all the separate ingredients to make a pie from scratch. Traditionally, when I'm doing Thanksgiving for the last 8 years since I've been 18, I make everything from scratch. But this year I priced it out according to what would be cheaper to make from scratch and what would be cheaper to just buy whole. And I don't have a lot of baking supplies on me right now, so in order to bake this pie, it would have been about twice as much for me to just go out and buy all the separate ingredients. So instead, just bought the pie, and this was, I think, like $4.98. Then I have just Great Value brand bacon that I will be using for breakfast for my guests, but I will also be using for a casserole that I'm making, and that was $3.98. Great Value brand butter that I'll be using for a few different things that I make, and that was, let's see here, $2.56. Skim milk, which I won't even be needing this much. I'm only going to need it for two things that I'm making. One is a pudding and one is macaroni and cheese. I make macaroni and cheese every year because I used to foster kids, and during Thanksgiving I wanted them to have foods that they wanted to eat and not just a bunch of adult casseroles. So I always made macaroni and cheese, and it's kind of a tradition now that I make mac and cheese and just have kind of like a kid-friendly dish at my Thanksgiving every year. But I will not need this much milk. You are only going to need like a few cups of milk. But this is only 56 cents. These Rhodes rolls, and a cattail, but these Rhodes rolls were $3.68. Usually I make rolls from scratch, but this was one of those things that was just going to cost me too much in ingredients, and I couldn't find just a small thing of yeast, so I would have had to bought a large one, and that alone was like $5. So these were the cheaper route to take. Great Value peas for 84 cents, and these are just going to be used in a casserole. My turkey was $12.05. I tried to get the smallest turkey. There was another turkey brand there that was like Jenny O, I think, and they were about twice as much in price as Butterball brand. Butterball is like traditionally very fatty and juicy. Not the healthiest turkey in the world, but for my budget, it's going to work, and it's going to feed me for days afterwards. These potatoes were $2.97. I'll be making mashed potatoes with these, but this is a huge bag and I'm not having that many guests, so I will also be able to use these to make breakfast potatoes and just to keep myself for later on. And we have Kitten in the video who wanted to be featured. Hello, Mipsy. She's like, oh, a turkey, that smells delicious. These chopped pecans were $2.98, and I'm just going to be using these in a pudding. These mini marshmallows are for a pudding, and they were 92 cents. Yes, Charlotte. These mini shrimp are for a like pasta salad that I'm making, and they were $2.82 each. This pineapple was actually on clearance and it was only 50 cents for the entire can. 2 things of Jell-O for 36 cents each, and 1 thing of pistachio pudding for 50 cents. An onion for 96 cents, which will be used in multiple different things that I make. French fried onions for $3.49 for the green bean casserole. Mastacchioli for 82 cents, and elbow noodles for 82 cents. The elbow noodles will be used for pasta salad that I'm making. Hold on, Kitaru, almost done. And then the Mastacchioli will be used for the mac and cheese. And then lastly, the bread will be used for stuffing and toast in the morning for breakfast for my guests. My entire receipt total came to $49.49. So we were under budget by about 50 cents. We cut it pretty close. Had I had to get everything, including like the cheese and Dream Whip and all those kinds of things, it probably would have added on like another $15. So for this entire Thanksgiving dinner, it would probably cost me around $65. What I'm making could probably feed around like 8 to 9 people easily. Last year I fed a group of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people when I was pregnant on this exact meal, and there was still leftovers for days with that. So you could definitely feed a pretty big family with the $65 grocery haul. You just kind of have to buy the off-brand stuff, and we're going to be making a lot of the things from scratch to save us some money, but a few of the things it was actually cheaper to just go ahead and buy them pre-made. So that is my grocery haul video. Now I'm going to start prepping for Thanksgiving, and we're going to be getting some stuff ready, and I'll be making update videos as I go along on what I'm doing different days prior to Thanksgiving. So today is Friday, so it's about 6 days, well, it's exactly 6 days from Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is next Thursday. So basically today I just went out and bought groceries, and then tomorrow I will start prepping some things. I'll only prep for about 2 days. And then the day of Thanksgiving, like I said, just make the mashed potatoes. But this is my grocery haul video, and if you guys are interested in seeing how I use all of these groceries and how I make my 11-course meal, you can tune back in over the next few days to kind of see how Thanksgiving comes together for us. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this maybe motivated you to have a budget-friendly Thanksgiving, and I will see you guys in the next one.